Please have a seat. Thank you everyone for joining us. Minister of Foreign Affairs Gideon Sa'ar and Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs Petr Macinka will now sign a joint declaration between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Israel and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Czech Republic on the establishment of a joint commission. Please. Thank you. The ministers will now give statements.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to welcome in Jerusalem my friend, Czech Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Petr Macinka. Friendship between our nations is deep and long-standing. For centuries, Prague was a center of Jewish life and learning with great Jewish figures such as the Maharal of Prague. Today, it's one of the most popular destinations for Israeli tourists. In 2025, 250,000 Israelis visited the Czech Republic, an increase of 65%. Israelis and Jews feel safe and welcome in the Czech Republic because we know you are friends. We read Kafka and Kundera. We admire the incredible Czech nation's achievements in culture, literature, and science. We appreciate your historic friendship. In 1947, Czechoslovakia voted at the UN in favor of Israel's establishment. When Arab states invaded the young state of Israel in 1948, Czechoslovakia stood by our side. I want to give you something, Minister. Know what it is? It's a Spitfire. It's a Spitfire. You can photo that. That was very important back to 1948. That's yours.
Thank
you. This Spitfire plane that Czechoslovakia gave us then enabled us to defend our skies in our independence war. As you can see, Minister, our Air Force has come a long way since then. Since our independence, and especially after the restoration of Czech democracy, our relations have been warm and close. Under Prime Minister Babiš, the Czech Republic is one of Israel's greatest friends and allies in the world. I believe, dear Peter, that I was the first minister from outside Europe to visit Prague after your government was sworn in. Today, Minister, we are taking our partnership a step further. I am happy to announce the formation of a joint commission between Israel and the Czech Republic. Minister Macinka and myself will personally chair it. Our joint goal will be to strengthen economic ties between our countries. We are also launching a program to bring young Czech tech entrepreneurs, and experts to Israel to share with them Israel's unique tech ecosystem. Today, the heads of our AI directorates are meeting to enhance our AI cooperation. These initiatives will strengthen our economies, AI, and tech partnerships. They directly benefit both economies, and I told the minister I will come, the Deputy Prime Minister, I will come soon to visit Prague with a business economic delegation to increase bilateral relations on those important dimensions. Dear friend, today we mark Holocaust Remembrance Day in Israel. We just visited this morning Yad Vashem together. The Jewish people is one of the world's most ancient nations. We should have been one of the largest nations today, but for 2,000 years, our people were murdered across the world. The Holocaust was the peak of the long, tragic history of a people without the ability to defend themselves. We have learned our lesson. We shall never again be defenseless. Today, the state of Israel is strong. There are some who have a problem seeing strong Jews. It is something they didn't see for 2,000 years. But the truth is, we have no choice. Either we will be strong, or we simply will not exist. In the region we live in, it's an absolute command. We live in the world's most dangerous neighborhood, surrounded by fanatic jihadist enemies. They openly declare their intent to eliminate us and act toward it. This is especially clear since October 7, 2023. The Iranian terror regime leads this axis of evil. Since 1979, the Iranian regime has exported radicalism and terror in the Middle East and beyond. The world's most extreme regime seeks to obtain the world's most dangerous weapon, a nuclear weapon. Iran built a ring of fire of its proxy terror states around Israel, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and the Houthis in Yemen. For years, we allowed the Iranian regime to build up its proxy forces on Israel's border. After October 7th, we learned our lesson. We will not allow the Iranian regime to implement its evil plan. We will not allow the Iranian regime to obtain nuclear weapons. We will not allow to choke us through its terror proxy states. NATO Secretary General Rutte said lately that the severe damage we caused Iran's nuclear and ballistic capabilities is existential news for Europe too. Germany's Chancellor said during Operation Rising Lion last June that Israel is doing the dirty work for all of us. Despite a few clear voices, European countries to bury its head in the sand, like an ostrich, it refuses to recognize the war's contribution to its own security. Dear Deputy Prime Minister, as you wrote in your powerful column in Israel Hayom, European leaders lecture Israel from their air-conditioned offices. The regime's ballistic missile strike on Diego Garcia base 4,000 kilometers away from Iran showed the Iranians' missiles threaten all of Europe too. Our joint action with the United States severely degraded the regime's nuclear and ballistic missiles program, as well as its military industry. We will continue to stand guard. We will never allow Iran to obtain nuclear weapons. The international community must take a clear stance against Iran's nuclear ambitions and against its proxy terror armies. The enriched materials must be removed from Iran. There must be no enrichment on Iranian soil. We appreciate President Trump and his administration's commitment to preventing Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons. We support their attempts to achieve this goal, also by diplomatic means. The diplomatic path was tried many times, just recently in June 20, or before our operation on June 2025, before the European E3 initiated the snapback, before the last attack on February 28th, and last weekend in Islamabad. The stubbornness of the radical Iranian regime remains unchanged. We hope it will be changed, but until now, it is unchanged. It has not abandoned its ambition of achieving nuclear weapons. It mistakenly believes that a nuclear weapon will guarantee its own survival as a terror regime that butchers its own people and threatens the entire region. The Israeli and American readiness to use military force now and last June ensured the world's security. It was an act of leadership based on a principle: Iran can never obtain nuclear weapon. Dear Deputy Prime Minister, during my visit to Prague in January, I invited you to visit our ancient capital. Thank you for returning the visit today. I look forward to working together to strengthen the strategic friendship between Israel and the Czech Republic. Děkuju. Thank you.
Thank you, Foreign Minister. Deputy Prime Minister, please.
So thank you very much, Gideon. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. You are right that you were probably the first visit to Prague after my appointment to as a Minister of Foreign Affairs from non-EU countries. But you forgot to say that you were the very first Minister of Foreign Affairs whom I talked to via phone after my appointment. So you are my very first contact as a Minister of Foreign Affairs.
I always like to be first, and I will check out why I was second in the first.
If you were second, I would rather not say that, but I have to say that loudly that you are the first. Yeah. You were the first. So this visit is for me is not only returning the gesture you made that you came to visit me to Prague and in January. For me it's also very important this day, the day when I visited Jerusalem, the Holocaust Remembrance Day. I think it's extraordinary for me, and it was absolutely extraordinary for me to see the exhibition Yad Vashem. I think I would absolutely recommend to everyone to see that. It is also a part of our Czech history, the dark part of the Czech history. So we share this with you. I think everyone should go there and see that, even especially the younger generation. I am also very happy that I was able to bring with me one of the Holocaust survivors on the plane, Mr. Sivor, 93 years old, very active man. I wanted to talk to our press on the airplane, but it wasn't possible because the whole 4 hours flight he was giving one interview after another.
Amazing.
So that was perfect job that he made our press quite busy. So we had some time to rest. So you know, as you see that our relations are very friendly and very above standard. I'm very happy to have a possibility to even improve our relations between our two countries. So I'm very happy that we established this joint commission, and we can start working, because this commission will be active between the G2G meetings. We also discussed that the first meeting would be in Prague, and the Israeli representation would come accompanied by the group of the business people. We will prepare it also in cooperation with our chambers of commerce, the top Czech companies to participate on the business forum we could open together, because we should always support our companies to make business and then pay taxes. It's quite important for both countries, and that's something we can make for our GDP. For me, this visit is very important also to understand better the situation in this region, to hear it from you, to hear a lot of interesting and important information regarding the situation in the Middle East, and also in the situation in Gaza, because I think that's something that's the Gaza activity is in the shadow of the conflict with Iran. So, but it's also important. So I'm very happy that we had an opportunity to discuss not only the situation with Hezbollah and Hamas, but also not only with Hezbollah and Iran, but also with Hamas and Gaza. We also discussed shortly our positions in the European Union, which is also quite complicated place for Israel. In some respects, it is a complicated place also for the Czech Republic. So I think we share some common positions, and not only in European Union, but also in the United Nations. So I think it was very fruitful discussion, and I'm looking forward to welcome you in Prague.
Thank you.
On our first commission meeting. So thank you very much.
That will happen very soon. Thank you.
The ministers will now take a few questions. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Jakub Říha, CNN Prima News. I would like to ask you, Minister Saar, from what you said, it's clear that there's intent...
Can you say who you represent?
Jakub Říha, CNN Prima News. Sorry, Jakub Říha, CNN Prima News. From what you said, it's clear that there's intent to cooperate financially. I'm interested if Israel is thinking about maybe moving some production of military equipment or weapons into Czech Republic anytime soon, if we can see that happening.
It's a good idea. We will discuss it, among other things, in our next meeting in Prague, which will be the first meeting of the Joint Committee, and this is one of the ideas.
And for Minister Macinka, one of the first things that you said when you were taking the office was the intent to relocate the Czech embassy into Jerusalem. Now your ally Israel is at war. I'm interested if now might not be the good time to kind of back up your words with action and move the embassy. And if not now, will we see that while you're still in the office?
Yeah, thank you for this question. I think before we came here, I made a bet with our ambassador. She told me that no one will ask on moving the embassy to Jerusalem, and I told her, well, anytime someone asks on this question, you buy me a bottle. So I think it's many bottles for in few hours. So yes, I spoke about this issue, the moving the Czech embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv, one day before I was appointed as a Minister of Foreign Affairs on the Hanukkah festival in Prague. So, and I said that we saw the discussion coming about moving the Czech embassy, and then nothing happened, and we opened the part of the embassy here, but then the discussion went silent. So I just asked, why did that happen, and that we should open the discussion again, because me personally, I would like to make it, and I would like to open it in person as a Minister of Foreign Affairs. So I wanted to reopen this discussion. And of course, there are two levels of thinking about this. One is the symbolic level, important for Israel, but there's also a practical level that, you know, the office of the government and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is situated and located in Jerusalem, Knesset, Jerusalem, the office of the President, Jerusalem, but we have an embassy in a different city. So from the practical point of view, I think it's also a relevant discussion. So I opened this discussion one day before I was appointed as a Minister of Foreign Affairs, and I think I will keep this discussion running and try to move it, not to get it silent again. But if you ask me when, I don't have an answer, but maybe if there is an opportunity, so we will see it and we will not miss it as a symbolic opportunity. When something important happens, we might make the steps. But of course, it's not on me. The decision is not on me personally. I'm only the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I'm not the Saar. We have also the government and the Prime Minister and the coalition. But I think as the Czech Republic is by tradition very close to Israel and very friendly, so I don't expect any negative discussion about this issue.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Channel 12 News. My question is to you, Foreign Minister Saar. Negotiations will be held today between Israel and Lebanon and Washington. What kind of commitment is Israel looking for that's different from what was agreed in October 2024? And more generally, what does Israel hope this agreement will look like?
I believe this discussion will be held on two levels. First of all, it is a declared position of the government of Lebanon that they wish to dismantle Hezbollah. They see its military activity as unlawful, and we will discuss, or we will see whether we can cooperate on that issue, taking into consideration Hezbollah is also its financial roots. There are a lot of dimensions holding this organization, practically keeping Lebanon under Iranian occupation. And they began on the March the 2nd, when they attacked Israel. It was against the will of the Lebanese government. It was against the will of the people of Lebanon, unless I would say at least the majority of them opposed that. So I believe that, and this is the second thing, Israel and Lebanon don't have any major disputes between them. The problem is Hezbollah, and this is the problem we must address. So we can speak about terms of a shelf agreement for the future as well, but always remember the problem for Israel's security is the problem for Lebanon's sovereignty. It's Hezbollah. It's the same problem. And this problem needs to be addressed in order to move to a different phase we want to reach of peace and normalization with the state of Lebanon.
Thank you. Yes, please.
David Borek, Czech television. My first question is primarily vis-à-vis Minister Saar. The Iranian diplomatic channel To what extent is Israel afraid of potentially repeating scenario of last year's June, when Israel was basically stopped from further inflicting damage on Iranian regime in this specific moment of history where we are now, the American-Iranian diplomacy. And a question for both gentlemen. Speaking about long-lasting Czech-Israeli relations is a language of politicians, which is not completely baseless, but my question is, what do you think about the new trends in the Western political arena, where part of Western left and also part of Western right is becoming increasingly critical of Israel?
With regard to your first question, I believe there is a strong commitment of President Trump and his administration to prevent Iran from reaching nuclear weapon. This is the goal, and the position in order to achieve this goal is to take out the enriched materials outside from Iran and to have zero enrichment on the soil of Iran. I think the American negotiating team that worked in Islamabad a few days ago brought these positions. Unfortunately, the Iranian regime representatives were again stubborn on this very issue, and this is why this round was not successful. So we believe there is a strong American commitment as much as it is a strong Israeli commitment. Both parties demonstrated that by actions, not by words, by deeds. And to the extent that it can be achieved with diplomatic means, not only we don't oppose it, we support it. But it's very important to understand here the United States in the negotiations, Israel and the US in the military operation, they are representing an interest of the international community as a whole that the other parts of the international community is not ready to fight for, but it's their interest as well. With regard to your second question, I don't think I need to get into a detailed analysis of internal politics in different countries. My basic conception, I think from when I was probably 13, maybe less than that, is that left is a problem everywhere. I hadn't changed up my mind. Please.
I made a note when you said the left is a problem everywhere. I fully agree. As a chairman of the right-wing party, you know, the problem, you know, it is not any empty or empty saying that there is a long-term friendship. It may be from some parts of the world, but definitely not from the Czech Republic because of the shared history. We saw it today in Yad Vashem. That's Yad Vashem. It's something that we remember, something that we feel, and something that if there is any country who that didn't come through such an experience, that then they cannot realize the tie between our two countries. The second problem is that the European left, the European progressive left, who are the progressive leftists who just think that they are here for exporting the morality, exporting the so-called liberal democracy. I'm always in favor of using the word democracy without any adjectives, because when you use any adjective, then you can damage, or you can damage the democracy itself. Not to make any analysis on what liberal democracy means. So, you know, if there is, you know, Israel is a civilized country surrounded by uncivilized enemies. And as I was writing about those air-conditioned offices, so that's the problem. That's the problem. They don't know what Israel is facing. They don't understand that. They, as I used a small joke today, that these people are, as they come to the cannibal village of the cannibals, and they say, "We love you because we feel the human rights." And the cannibals, they say, "Well, we love you too. Bon appetit." So this is something that they are judging Israel because they are trying to look at Israel with their liberal, democratic, human rightist eyes, and they want Israel to behave as those naive people who come to the cannibal village. But if you behave like that, you wouldn't exist. So I understand that, and we understand that. We understand that. The Czech Republic understands that. We understood that all the time, every time, all the time. So maybe this is the reason, but I don't want to make any deeper analysis of our relations. I hope you understand.
Thank you, Deputy Prime Minister, but with your permission, I would like to add something. It's not that these people use the same standards to judge human rights conditions in the Middle East as a whole, in neighboring countries. They have, I would not say even double standards. It's much worse than that when they are dealing with our state. And they also portrayed a fake picture of history, because they portrayed Israel as a colonial project, while we are the indigenous people of this land. That will be shown very clearly to the Deputy Prime Minister in our next station today, which will be the Western Wall.
Thank you, everyone. I'm afraid our time is up. Thank you for joining us. This concludes this press event.
פשוט שני הדברים האלה אני צריך, כי להשתמש בהם. כן, אפשר לעשות את הרעיון.